We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 or the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. On first down, Justin Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. Oh, some strong running.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
First down, and they go back to Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A nice run right there, and we talk this time of year about certain teams, certain players who don't have a lot of postseason history to speak of, and here's a man right here in his rookie season in the NFL, and he's being asked to carry the load at running back for this offense.
And he has acquitted himself nicely here in his rookie year. And look, I think we both believe that the burden's a little lighter on backs and receivers than it is on quarterbacks in the playoffs. But that's not to say this is going to be easy. As fast as the NFL game is in the regular season, it's like warp speed when you turn pressure up in the postseason. So let's see how he handles things early.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Herbert on first down now. This is swung out to Eckler. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2nd down and 7. Now Jackson. Completes it to Watt. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll try the right side with Harris. Finding room at the 30. Gets around him. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. 64 yards rushing for him already. A terrific first quarter here to begin the playoffs. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. We're scoreless after one. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Harris. Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, and you think about the man in charge, their head coach, this marking his first ever playoff game as the head coach, and you wonder what's going through his mind right about now.
Brandon, I think we both agree that he's had a great season, and we wouldn't be surprised at all to see him get plenty of Coach of the Year votes. I thought he took the right tone in his weekly press conference, though. Played it cool, took the reserved angle, and when you don't have the track record, I think that's the exact right way to do it.
Dances by him, and inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They hand this off to Harris. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On the give, this is Harris. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Cameron Hayward. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Well, this is caught by Williams. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Here's Herbert.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Cameron Sutton. And this one will be brought back to the 22. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
On second down, it's Harris. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, and now they look up at a 3rd and 5. This is Harris. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, Herbert. Man open left side, it's Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit, because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Always so many storylines when you're playing January football. And, Charles, you talk about this offense, their head coach, it's his first time in charge in the playoffs. And I think you and I were both kind of surprised by his demeanor, and specifically his comments and his confidence at the press conference, where he really all but guaranteed a victory.
Yeah, I was a little bit taken aback, because you don't normally see that. And on one hand, it's like, all right, cool. He feels great about his team. But on the other hand, I don't think it's in his best interest to do that. How many playoff games has he won again, Brandon?
None.
So there's your answer right there. I guess what he was trying to do was fire up his team, but he has to make sure he doesn't fire up the other guys, because there have been a lot of coaches who've made guarantees that are no longer coaching in this league.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
What are you doing?
A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big gain that time for the Chargers. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Herbert just beat the play clock. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive, as they will take over here with a little more than 30 seconds remaining. After the interception, here's Jackson. That's swung out wide to Harris. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Being chased out left. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Jackson on first down. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Herbert.
He'll buy some time right, and he'll just get rid of it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Hopkins' kick is good.
So we're in halftime in this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
No gain on the play there. Second down.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the 3rd phase, but you see here it can be the 1st phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now a give right side. Harris. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson.
Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Gives to the first man through. Watt. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Herbert now. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He finds his man, complete. That's Murray. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Herbert throwing again. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
That throw into the arms of Allen. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. And Herbert able to get this one to Eckler out of the backfield. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Herbert back to the air. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that
trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take it through.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
3rd quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10.
This is Harris. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. It's brought in by Harris. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it. But it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. He'll get this to Eckler. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Allen. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Again, Herbert. Leaping, and he makes the grab. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. One quarter remains for the right to survive round one here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down.
We'll drop this one off to Eckler.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert.
That's into the hands of Eckler.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, Eckler. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Murray. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Latavius Murray.
Fine work there on the touchdown run.
And the Chargers have taken the lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will make this a 4-point game. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Jackson going to tuck it down to the option.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
The Charger drive about to get going. And this, a very important drive leading in the fourth quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here first down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 59 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now,
and look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Steelers are right back in this football game.
A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He gets it complete to Harris. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And still fighting.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Jackson.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They'll contain him to just 4, second down. Hands to the up man. This is Watt. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's Jackson.
Complete to Jones.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
An extra quarterback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. The Charger drive about to get going. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They started on the ground with Eckler. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Herbert. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Their season ends here. A tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.